There are places on this earth where the very air hums with invisible death. Places where a single breath, a single step, could seal your fate. These are the forgotten wastelands of nuclear disaster, in ancient lands where the earth itself pulses with natural radiation. Today we journey into the world's most radioactive places, where survival is measured not in days, but in minutes. Once a model Soviet city, Pripyat was vibrant, a place of laughter, families, and progress. Apartment blocks rose proudly into the sky. Children played in manicured parks. The bright yellow Ferris wheel stood ready for May Day celebrations, never knowing it would spin in the ghost wind, untouched for decades. But on April 26, 1986, a catastrophic failure at Chernobyl's reactor number 4 unleashed an invisible monster. Radiation levels soared, unseen, unfelt, seeping into every brick, every tree, every breath. In just hours, a lethal cloud swept across Pripyat. Firefighters, heroes who raced to the plant, absorbed fatal doses before they even realized they were dying. Today, nature reclaims the ruins. Vines creep through broken windows. Foxes patrol empty schools. And radiation silently lingers, long after the people are gone. Beneath the wreckage of Chernobyl, hidden deep in the skeletal remains of the power plant, lies one of the deadliest objects on Earth, the elephant's foot. Formed from molten nuclear fuel, reactor core materials, sand and steel, it's a grotesque sculpture of death. Thick, cracked, and gleaming with an eerie metallic sheen, it looks almost alive, a slow, toxic heartbeat frozen in time. When it first formed, standing near it for even 30 seconds delivered a fatal dose of radiation. Cameras melted. Soldiers used mirrors to take photographs, because approaching directly meant death. Even today, despite decades of decay, the elephant's foot remains a deadly relic, a monument to humanity's hubris and nature's relentless force. In March 2011, the Earth convulsed off the coast of Japan, heaving a 9.0 magnitude earthquake that ripped the seafloor apart. Within minutes, a tsunami, towering over 15 meters, roared inland with unstoppable fury, swallowing seawalls and smashing through Fukushima Daiichi's defenses. The plant's backup generators, critical for cooling its reactors, were housed in vulnerable basements. Salt water surged in, drowning the machines. Without power, pumps faltered. Fuel rods overheated, their zirconium cladding reacting violently with steam. Hydrogen explosions tore through reactor buildings 1, 3, and 4, spewing plumes of cesium-137 and iodine-131 into the air. The wind carried radiation inland. A bitter metallic tang seeped into clothes, soil, and lungs. Entire communities were erased, not just by water, but by the slow seeping poison of radiation. Coastal towns like Nami and Futaba became spectral wastelands. Rotting fishing boats littered fields miles inland. The ocean, once a lifeline, turned traitor. Currents swept radioactive isotopes into the food chain, killing kelp forests and mutating sea life. Fields once rich with rice harvests stand silent, topsoil scraped into black plastic mounds. Streets once bustling with life are deserted, patrolled only by the whine of Geiger counters and the creak of untended shop signs. Even now, radiation levels near Reactor 2's core exceed 530 sieverts per hour, enough to kill a human in seconds. Specially designed robots, armored in lead and tungsten, crawl through the wreckage to map melted fuel. Many have simply failed, fried by the invisible force that lingers, undiminished beneath shattered concrete. One machine's final transmission showed a hellscape of twisted steel, eerily glowing debris, and then static, double asterisk. Deep in the remote folds of Russia's Ural Mountains, far from the eyes of the outside world, a quiet menace was forming. one that would remain buried in secrecy for decades. Long before the name Chernobyl became synonymous with nuclear disaster, another catastrophe was already brewing in silence. It was 1957 at the Mayak nuclear facility near the closed city of Chelyabinsk 40, a top-secret site hidden from maps, guarded by barbed wire, and known only to a few high-ranking Soviet officials. Inside the facility, radioactive waste was accumulating at an alarming rate. One of the massive underground storage tanks, poorly constructed and improperly maintained, began to overheat. Without adequate safety protocols or proper venting systems, the pressure inside built to unbearable levels. Then came the explosion. A towering column of fire and radioactive dust tore into the sky, blasting open the earth and launching over 80 tons of deadly waste into the atmosphere. The explosion sent a toxic plume drifting silently across the landscape, contaminating over 20,000 square kilometers, an area larger than some countries. Forests, rivers, and towns were blanketed with invisible death. No alarms sounded, no warnings were given. There were no evacuations, no sirens, no state-issued instructions. Instead, people were left to live their lives, tending gardens, herding livestock, letting their children play outside, all while breathing air thick with radiation. The soil they planted in, the water they drank, and the milk they fed their babies were all laced with poison. In the weeks and months that followed, people began to fall ill. Unexplained headaches, nausea, rashes, and strange illnesses became common. Miscarriages soared. Children were born with severe deformities. Entire families faded away under the weight of cancers no one could name. But the Soviet government kept silent. Hospitals were instructed not to record radiation-related illnesses. Scientists were silenced. The truth, that thousands of innocent people had become unwitting victims of a nuclear disaster, was hidden behind thick walls of concrete, secrecy, and fear. And the world moved on, unaware that Chernobyl had a forgotten predecessor. Not all radiation disasters come from failed reactors or secret government facilities. In the quiet town of Ramsar, Iran, the danger flows from the very earth itself. Beneath this picturesque village, deep underground, natural radium deposits infuse the groundwater with an invisible energy, one that pulses upward through bubbling hot springs, stone walls, and even the floors of family homes. For generations, locals have lived their lives here without fear. They drink the mineral-rich waters, bathe in the warm springs believed to bring healing, and harvest crops from the sun-drenched soil, all while unknowingly walking across some of the highest natural background radiation levels on Earth. Some homes in Ramsar emit more radiation than a functioning nuclear power plant. Walls built with stones from local quarries carry a silent dose. And yet, the people here don't just survive, they thrive. Many residents live long, active lives with no visible signs of harm. Scientists are perplexed. Could Ramsar's population have slowly adapted to their radioactive environment? Is there a genetic resilience quietly evolving here? Or, more ominously, is the true cost of this exposure still unfolding, hidden in the genes of future generations? Across the globe, in forgotten towns and scorched exclusion zones, radiation lingers, unseen, unheard, but never absent. It's a haunting reminder that the most powerful forces in our world don't roar. They whisper, they reshape landscapes, collapse empires, and rewrite the code of life itself. The most radioactive places on Earth aren't just danger zones. They are warnings. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and leave a like. It's free and would really help this channel to grow. Until next time, stay curious and I will see you in the next one.